Today on episode 20 of the Frick Frack podcast.
Yo, that actually is how I got my Instagram name.
Really?
There's a story I have not told people before.
Oh, do it.
Would you like to hear?
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, so...
Hey guys, welcome back to the Frick Frack podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today we have Chaz Smith on the show, and you guys probably already know Chaz Smith. Let's be honest, if you clicked this podcast, probably wasn't for me, Frick Frack, and for John.
I think they're just here to figure out, like, okay, how did they get this guy?
yeah, because we have Chaz. Chaz is really popular. He's a hilarious social media guy, and what I love about him is he brings the laughs, and he has a passion for Christ that's really contagious.
Yeah.
He's a great influencer to follow. I mean, obviously, he's got tons of followers, over 1 million across all platforms, and he's got 800,000 YouTube subscribers, as well as a new Twitch streaming channel where he plays games my mom probably wouldn't let me play, like Pokémon. So keep a hedge of protection up if you're going to go there.
It is rated E10.
It's rated E10. I mean, you got to watch that.
So guard your heart and
guard that heart. But before we get into that episode with him, I just wanted to take a minute and let you guys know how you can support this show. And that is, some of the biggest ways you can do that is actually not financially. It's not buying something. It's giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That helps so much with as far as it reaching more people. And also subscribing or following if you're on Spotify, so you can get more episodes from us in the future. We're trying our best to bring you the best Christian content that we can as far as podcasts go. And I really like the Frick Frack podcast right now because I feel like there's nothing really else really like it.
No, it's kind of a one of a kind.
It really is. It's like a unicorn of content.
We said that at the same time. That was adorable.
It happens.
But something else you can do that helps a lot is just tell a buddy, tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
And we've heard a lot from some of our fans. I actually just heard the other day that we have a fan in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong?
Yeah, they messaged us on the Frick Frack podcast Instagram, and they said, hey, just want to let you know, love the show, listening from Hong Kong.
Well, how about that?
And so if you just tell someone, word of mouth is the best promotion.
It really is. Just tell a friend about it, and I'm sure they'll enjoy the show. And as well, if you guys want merch, we have Frick Frack merch and Churchy merch, which I'm wearing right now. It looks like the Friends logo, but it says Churchy. Everyone seems to be loving this merch right now.
We're getting a lot of DMs from people loving that too.
On that. So it's on www.taylorransom.net. That is available there. You guys can check that out. And now, without further ado, let's go into the episode. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chaz Smith. Welcome to the show, Chaz.
Welcome.
What's up, though? What's popping? I said what's popping again. I think that's like my go-to greeting.
That's your go-to? What's popping?
That's pretty solid.
That's a pretty solid greeting.
I was saying it before Jack Harlow made a song about it.
I've heard it on TikTok. I've never heard the whole song together, so I've heard the bits and pieces.
Just the meme part.
The meme parts. I've heard the meme parts. Yeah.
What's popping?
Exactly. Yeah, when they're like, what's popping? I know just enough parts I can probably say it in front of my mom, and it's going to be fine, unless she hears the song. And then she's going to be like, what are you listening to? And then it's from a mom. It's from a meme. It's from a meme, mom.
Censored homeschool version.
Exactly. Oh, man. Well, Chaz, I got to ask you a very important question going into the show, because I need to know whether or not you being on the show is like a segment or like the whole show. He's got the end call button. I just need to know.
Yeah, I'm ready on the end call.
He's ready on the end call. What is your Chick-fil-A order? Like, what do you order when you go to Chick-fil-A? I just need to make sure this ain't something. I just need to know.
I am fully prepared to be excommunicated from Christian culture before I say this.
Oh no!
I have not been to Chick-fil-A since April of last year.
Of last year? That's pre-quarantine.
I thought you were going to say April of this year, and I was like ready to cancel you for that. And then you say it's last year.
It has been at least 14 months since I've been to Chick-fil-A. However, when I did go, my go-to order was a large spicy chicken sandwich, no cheese, with, of course, large fries.
Of course. It's America.
I get kid size ice dream, so it's like 95 cents, depending on where you're at. And I'd also order some nuggets on the side. But I haven't been there in over a year, bruh.
I can understand that order. I think that's pretty okay. It's close to my perfect order that I call the perfect order. I'm not gonna bring it up because I've said it.
Perfect order.
Have you heard about the perfect order?
You got
heard
extra
about
pickles. Also, extra pickles, of course.
Okay, I see. I thought it was okay, and then now you bring it up the extra. I don't know.
You need that crunch, boy.
We're just
going. I'm with Chaz on this one. It's all about the crunch, bro.
Throw the fries on the sandwich. All of that.
Fries on the.
Come on.
Hold on. What?
What do you mean? Why is that out of?
Fries on the what now?
fries on the
is an
sandwich.
intended side item. There's a reason
yes, you still keep it as a side item, but you also can put it on the sandwich. It adds another texture to it. I'm telling. Don't knock it till you try it, bro.
Don't knock it till you try.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna do what the Bible says. All right, you be at peace with all people. I'm gonna get along. I'm gonna have grace here. I'm gonna let that slide. I haven't tried it. I will say that I have not tried the fries on the chicken sandwich.
Which is that's saying something.
Have you never had fries on a cheeseburger?
I've had that. I've never thought to do it at Chick-fil-A, which is actually. I haven't tried it. More pressing, the question is, why haven't you eaten at Chick-fil-A in 14 months? That's more of a question to bring up. What is that
personal
about?
Reasons, just personal reasons.
Okay.
I don't know. How much would it cost for us to Uber eat something from Kentucky to wherever Chaz is?
Well, Chaz, where are you right now, Chaz? Aren't you in L.A.?
Yeah, I'm in California.
Okay, he's in California.
I'm in California.
Okay,
you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it broad.
Okay.
Just asking for a friend. Is the stay-at-home order still intact?
At Kentucky,
like a thing?
Well, out here in Kentucky, it's tighter than a lot of the other states. Than like say Indiana or Tennessee, they're loose. Like I got friends down in Tennessee that are like straight up eating in restaurants right now.
Yeah,
like
they're living their best life.
Like this never happened. Like this whole thing didn't happen. It's very different state to state though, because it's really like at this point it's a lot of it's just dependent upon what the people in the state think about it.
Yeah. For all the homeschoolers out there that skipped this chapter, it's called federalism. Look into it.
Anyway. But so the homeschoolers, first of all, life's not any different. It's exactly
what kind of? I know there's different types of homeschooling. Like there's the homeschooling where the parents are just like, "Hey, I'm gonna teach you, and you're never gonna leave the house and live in the basement." And then there's like the co-op programs and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I can explain that to you. I can help that out. I would encourage you to homeschool your kids. I plan to homeschool my kids if you can. I think it'd be cool. I think they'd come out super. Because here's the thing with homeschooling.
As long as they have community with people like all around, then I'd totally be cool with that.
I think the thing with me that's really important for a lot of homeschoolers and what was good for me is they're just really plugged into a good church. Like for me, I was homeschooled, but like all my friends were like church friends. I didn't really do the co-op thing. There's co-op, which is pretty popular. People like they essentially go to school for 2 days out of the week, pretty much, and then the rest of the week they work at home. And some people have found success with that. They like it. I'm always like, I was one of the elite homeschoolers. Like more like the I mean, come on.
The cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop. Like we stayed at home. Was not allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z, like only watch VeggieTales.
No Pokemon because it was demonic?
Absolutely not.
I have an actual story about that. One time I went over I loved Pokemon growing up. I was first introduced to it. My older brother was playing Pokemon Blue. And I was like, oh, what's that? He's like, it's Pokemon. I started playing. My mom ended up getting it for me. And so I was just hooked since the age of like 4 or 5. One time I went over to my grandmother's house. I think I was 11. And Pokemon was on TV. And she saw Charmeleon, of course, of all things. If you know what Charmeleon is, it's a lizard, a red lizard with fire, a flaming tail.
Let me translate this.
Fire.
Demon.
Exactly. She took the words right out of my mouth.
My mom.
The one word. She was certain it was a demon, for sure.
Well, she's going to look at it. It's a red dragon breathing fire. And she's like, that looks like Revelation chapter 12. Not happening. Not happening in my house. Get that Pokemon out. So no, I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon was strictly off limits. If it even resembled anime, it wasn't allowed.
Yeah, anime in general, like that whole type of look was just kind of like they were a little bit like they didn't know what to think about that. Little edgy. Yeah, so it's like, it's like I actually played more video games, I think, growing up than I did watch TV anyway. I didn't really care that much.
What games were you into?
Oh, Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Of course.
That was a solid game. I had let me think here. You had Burnout, Spider-Man 2 on the PS2.
Burnout 2.
Oh, that was the game.
That was the one.
That was
the one.
Burnout 2 hit different.
The other ones I didn't really care for. Burnout 2. Oh, man. Y'all remember when you would drive by the car and you would drive by it with just enough space that it gave you the bonus? They called it like a certain bonus. I I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna front. I was the king of that. I like.
Other
My
kids
favorite thing was just destroying the other cars. What was it? There was like a type of game you could play, not races, but like where you knock the other cars off the road and cause them to crash.
Yeah. It was a game mode where it was just how much damage you could do, right?
Yeah. What was that called?
Oh, I have no idea.
No idea. I don't remember what it was called.
I'm out. What's on your shirt? I know. Does that say Friends or something else?
Well,
It's
no,
the
this
Friends
is actually my merch.
font.
Thanks for giving a convenient plug here. It's
hey,
churchy.
everybody, make sure you go buy merch at, what is it, TaylorRansom.com?
TaylorRansom.net, ladies and gentlemen. You get the churchy. It looks like the Friends logo.
He don't got the budget for .com yet.
I don't.
It's coming soon.
I had someone email me actually 3 weeks ago and try to sell it to me for $5,000, and I was like, no.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, no.
Ask them if they take IG shout-outs.
IG shout-outs. I'll get you an IG shout-out for it. Yeah, that'll work.
Yo, that actually is how I got my Instagram name.
Really?
There's a story I have not told people before.
Oh, do it.
Would you like to hear?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, so when Instagram first came out, when I first hopped on it, I don't remember what my name was. Something ridiculous, but I changed it to Simply Put Chaz because the whole reason I got on social media was because I wanted to do this talk show called Simply Put, and so everything was just Simply Put Chaz. So I ended up making that my Instagram handle, but then I moved on to the point where I was like, yo, I want my real name. Tried to change it, somebody else got it. So I'm like, dang. Look at his profile. He doesn't really post much. I think he had like 5 pictures on there, something like that. So I DM'd him. Hey, man, I try to be as nice as possible because I know it's the type of thing where people try to get money out of you, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
hey,
all the
man.
smiling emojis.
Yeah. It was the same year I graduated college. It was 2017. And I was going to go to NYU for like grad school for film production. But right before I went, I decided, okay, I'm going to do social media instead. So I was like, all right, I got to get my names and stuff, my handles down and all of that. And so I found the handle Chaz Smith. I reached out to him like, hey, I'm about to get started and really taking the social media thing seriously. Is it cool if I use your username? So I just want to, start being serious about it. He was like, you can just tell he like smelled an opportunity through the text. I wish I had the screenshots. I'm going to make a video about this at some point. But he's like, oh, so you that's what's up, man. You be making money off that? Like, nah, not really. I'm pretty broke right now. But I really just want to get started. I'm just being extra nice, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Can I get a shout out? I was like, sure, bro. He's like, all right, cool. And he like starts trying to get me to shout out his girlfriend and stuff. So I end up posting him on my story for like a few hours, and like I ended up taking it down right before it hit the 24-hour mark, and he started cursing me out. I'm like, all right, whatever, bro. I'm just leaving. Bye. But he is like what people think Chaz's are like. You know what I mean?
Man.
It was that type of interaction.
Dude, that's like the perfect social media stories, like with the influencers.
Really
like,
is.
I had to go DM, I had to do all this work to get my username right.
It worked though.
Dude, I know you've been Twitch streaming lately. You started a Twitch stream?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just started. So you know how I was just like, how I said I love Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally spent probably months worth of hours playing Pokemon throughout my entire life.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Months worth.
Now, this is edgy for the homeschoolers listening like
Listen.
me that we're not allowed to play it. We're like,
Yo,
like he was allowed to play Pokemon, plays it for hours. Like, is he the Antichrist? Is he like, not, like how non-denominational is this guy? I don't know. It's like, it's like a whole thing, but.
no, but for real though, it got to the point where I was like asking God, like straight up, Lord, I've wasted so much time playing this game, gotten like no return out. Where's the good in this? And I decided, just had the idea, yo, why don't I start live streaming and bringing other people in on the joy, because I have so much fun with it. So I just started I did my first 2 streams Friday and Saturday. I'm going to be doing them every single Friday and Saturday at 3 p.m. and then posting the highlights on my YouTube channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So
Awesome.
I'm excited for that.
Dude, I tuned in. Oh,
you did? You watched? Wait, did you watch the first one or the second one?
I don't know. I tuned in towards the very beginning of your second stream. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Did you see when I was fighting the Onyx? Like,
I don't think I saw. Dude, I don't know.
He's not going to know what the Onyx is, Chaz. He's over here like, the Onyx? Like, which demon is he talking about? I don't know. He's like, I don't know.
Spirit of Onyx? No.
We come against it. We come against it now.
So, for some context, to break it down, there are playthroughs that people do with these games where typically the games are like, they're hard enough, but usually pretty easy. But people decided to add these rules to it where it makes the game way harder. Like typically you can catch whatever Pokemon you want. And if they faint, you can just like when they lose all their health, you can't use them, but then you go heal them and it's all good. But in this game, if they faint, it's the equivalent of them dying, and you can no longer use them anymore. You either release them or put them in like a coffin box.
Oh my gosh.
That's
and
hard.
so In this particular game, it's a little more difficult. You have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
I mouthed to the camera. I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking. Like none. But anyway, it's cool. Like, it's cool though.
It's basically to sum it all up. If you want to see me get stressed out and scream but laugh at the same time because like all of my characters are perishing as I play this game, then tune in because it already happened last week. It was crazy, but it was so awesome. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm not going to rant about it because I'm probably losing people's attention at this point. But
I might tune in. I have to ask my mom first. I mean, she's going to be playing Pokemon. I don't know. I might have to pray a hedge of protection ahead of time.
I don't know.
So you got to bring out the Absolutely the Frick Not merch. Which, by the way, Absolutely the Frick Not. I love your merch, man. We have a common thing in the name. My podcast is Frick Frack.
Absolutely the Frick Frack.
There you go. Hey.
Crossover merch?
Crossover merch? Question mark. It could be a thing.
20-80 revenue split? Question mark.
No, yeah. Okay. Anyway, dude, I gotta ask. So I like how the word frick is near and dear to both of our hearts. You know, yes. I gotta ask you. So you've been creating for a long time. Now you're Twitch streaming, you're doing all your fun stuff and everything. But like, what inspired you to like start like making content? Like what was the Chaz Smith origin story? I want to know.
The origin story.
Like what made you decide to make content?
People knows that
I said origin. I don't know. Like origin. Anyone that watches the show knows I mispronounce things every now and again. It's because I'm homeschooled and I learned the words by reading them, not by hearing them. So
got it. Right.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Neglect there.
Well, how is it pronounced?
Origin.
Origin. What did I say?
You said origin.
You said origin, like origin. Original.
Oh, hey, you gotta admit, origin sounds
like original
way cooler.
Without the last syllable.
Okay. There you. I pronounced it incorrectly. I did his thing. I didn't even think about it. I did his whole shtick.
Oh my gosh.
So for me, it started when I was like 12 or 13. I knew I wanted to go into entertainment in some way. Wasn't sure what I did. Theater. Here and there growing up. Actually, quite a bit, and I just always had fun joking around with my parents, and just grew up being goofy. But I knew I wanted to go into entertainment in some way. Wanted to have particularly like host a talk show. And but what kept me from focusing more on entertainment stuff was I played basketball all the way through high school. I didn't really want to, but I just like felt like I needed to just to please my dad. But at the end of my senior year, I was like, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. And I just started having fun. Like Vine came out at that same time, and I was just having fun scrolling through. I finished homework and spent another 2 hours just scrolling through these 6-second videos.
Dude, that's what we all did.
Yes,
coming out.
It was so iconic. It transformed the social media industry.
It was a cultural reset.
Entire market, for real. It really did. But then I think I started watching them in March. Made my first on my prom night. I think it was May 2nd, day of my prom. Started having fun with them. Started picking up followers. I remember when I first got my first 100, I was like, oh my gosh, I got 100 followers. It was like, and that's still a lot of people who decide to press follow. Yeah, that is a lot of people.
There's something special about that. I tell people that DM me because you get these two chats. Every once in a while, you'll get someone that DMs you and they're like, hey, so I want to start making videos. How do I get followers? And it's like, that first 100, like there's something special about having just like a certain amount of people that don't know you that decided to follow you.
Yeah, and I was just doing it for fun, sending it to friends, classmates and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't looking to gain followers. I think that's what a lot of people get focused on. I was just doing it because I wanted to have fun. And then it started to pick up. Like within a month and a half, I had 2,000, which is really crazy. And then
that is crazy.
Right at that point, June 15th, 2013. So when I posted the Watermelon inside of Watermelon, coming up on 7 years.
7? That was 7 years ago?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
7 years
time
ago.
flies.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
I remember watching that in high school.
I did. Yeah. I remember seeing it. I don't know if I saw it the day it came out, but I saw it on Vine. I remember that. Dude, I didn't even, like, see, that's the crazy thing is, like, when you, like, originally followed me on social media and I kind of got to know you a little bit, like, got acquainted with you. Like, I didn't know that was you. I just thought you were just, like, this cool guy on Instagram.
No, most people don't know it's me because I was, like, shaking my head. You could barely see what was going on. And then at that point, I was even getting tired of the app. I was like, oh, wait, I'm wasting so much time on this. I deleted it after I made it. It was on
what?
I deleted the app. Not the Vine itself. I deleted the app. And
that's a good part of any character arc.
You gotta delete it.
It has to. You see, something has to die before it can really live.
Come on.
There it is. But, it was the day of Father's Day that year. Deleted
with these
downloaded
dates
a
so
week
well.
later, and it was doing like twice as well as anything else I had posted. A week later, it went from 500 likes to like 1,000, and a week later it was at 3,000. Next week 9, and then just kept going up exponentially because it was right around the time that revining was a thing. It was just really well timed, and by the end of by August, I think I had about 50,000 followers just that quickly.
Oh my goodness!
And it kept rolling. And then I started doing the pronouncing things incorrectly vines because I saw. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the How Thugs Pronounce Items video.
I saw those.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody
I've seen
saw
all
those.
Those were the funniest thing I saw on Vine. That was so funny. But I just like started making them because I was like, oh, I should do a clean version of this, and made them. Then I realized by like the 9th, like, yo, I probably should have tagged this guy because I got the inspiration from him. So I reached out to him. I was like, yo, dude, hey, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry. I feel like I probably should have tagged you, giving you credit for just having the idea. He was like, oh yeah, bro, no problem. It's all good. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll just tag you from now on. He's like, cool. The day I passed him in followers on Instagram, he was like, all right, bro, you gotta get back to being original now. That's enough. You're doing the same thing, blah, blah, blah. And I felt guilty about it. I actually stopped making them for a while.
Oh my gosh. Hey, that's the name of the game, though. That's kind of part of the territory.
Dude, in Christian content, half of it is, if you wanted to, you could just find something that's successful in the secular world, remake it, and bring it to the people that aren't allowed to watch the original. And that's just kind of how I see a lot of content creators who are Christian go.
We have God is not dead 5.
Thank you.
God's not
dead. He's surely alive as the credits roll. So, but no, Chad, no, you a G for that, for giving him credit and everything. That's awesome. Man. What's your favorite piece of content you've ever made? Like your favorite sketch? Like because I know like with my videos, there's the stuff that's quote unquote successful, or like gets the most views. But then there's the stuff you like really enjoyed making, like our edgy youth group kids we made the other day. I love that. That might be one of my favorite things we've made. It hasn't popped off that great, but I made it for fun. I wasn't really making it with the thought in mind, like, oh, this is the one. I wasn't thinking like that. But so like, what's your favorite one that you've made? Like, it could be anything. It could be a meme.
Well, first of all, if I'm making a video and I'm not laughing at it myself, then I don't feel like
it's not fun.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not even fun to do. I remember in particular there was one Vine I made where it's like when you crash your sister's sleepover. I was at my cousin's house, and I just had a lot of fun making that. I was so proud of it. We added all these like kung fu fighting sound effects to like the song itself.
Oh yeah,
and like
any piece of content with that song is automatically gold,
automatically top tier.
Yeah. That's always the first one that comes to mind. If I were to think about it, there'd probably be others, but yeah, that just I feel like it's never the thing that everybody else likes the most.
Yeah.
It never is. Everyone's always like, everyone will come up like we'll put hours of work into a sketch, okay? Like we'll work a whole day, shoot it. He'll edit it for however God knows long.
Yeah, that's funny, but this meme you made.
Exactly. Or they're like, hey, but that one time you ate mac and cheese in the front of your car and played old Andre Crouch music. 3 million views. That's the one we're going to give you the views on. I'm like, I didn't even try. I put it up because I had to post that day and I didn't have anything else. So it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Chaz, I like what you said, though, about like, if you don't laugh at your own content, then what's the deal?
If it's not funny, then it's like you're making a commercial. I
told my brother this all the time, and I think he thinks that I was being like a big head, but I always say I'm my own biggest fan. Because like, if you don't
Kanye.
That is Kanye energy, I'm not gonna lie. But like, if you do not like love the stuff you're making, then like, what the heck are you doing?
Exactly. What are you making? Yeah. Which brings me back, Chaz, to what you said earlier. You were talking about your Simply Put talk show you wanted to make when you set out on social media. You were going to make that. I remember when I did see on social media when you did it. I believe you shot a pilot, didn't you? In like in the YouTube New York Creator Studio, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. Like, what are you doing with Simply Put talk show? Is that a thing? Is it still on what's up?
It is a podcast.
Oh, it's a podcast.
It's launching next month.
Oh, how about that?
This is actually my first mention of it.
Really?
Right now. Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Well, you
It's
hear
in the
that,
works.
guys? Our highlight is going to get reposted on his story. I know it now. This highlight of him talking about Simply Put.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Because like with everything that's going on right now, it's hard to even get people in person.
Yeah.
And also just a podcast is so much less production and heavy lifting and all that. But still, the heart of it is there, even though it's not like the same thing that we envisioned. But yeah, the whole purpose was because of like, since that was the first thing I said I wanted to do when I was like 12 or 13. I just wanted to have conversations with people, help make them laugh, smile, change their perspectives about things that they might not understand or experiences that they haven't had, or help break things down in a way that's just easy to understand, something that's simple. And so I think a great way to do that is through a podcast. So yeah, it's gonna be next month, man.
Simply Put
Excited.
podcast.
So we'll have your secretary call our secretary, and let's work together.
I have my people reach out to their people who reach out to your people. And
It'll all work out.
The more middlemen you have, the bigger deal you are.
Exactly. The more hassle you can put people through, the more important you are. So
that's how it works.
That's great. Well, I will absolutely be tuning into that podcast. I'd recommend anyone listening to check out the Simply Put podcast as well. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, this will actually probably be coming out when
probably right about the same time that he's going to put this podcast
Yeah, we'll
out.
try to schedule it so the release is close, so people can go right over.
There we go.
That'll
We'll
be
do
cool.
that.
Some synergy.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that link going in the thing. So, like, you're gonna do that podcast. Let me ask you this, because one of the things, Chaz, that inspires me about you is because you put out your content, it reaches so many people, but then yet you have a strong faith background. Like, not every video and piece of content has to be like a billboard that says accept Jesus, but it can be spreading joy. It can be its thing. But you I like your Instagram bio. I think I wrote it down. Slim boy with holy joy. That's what it is.
Slim boy with
That's
the holy
pretty
joy.
solid.
With the holy joy. Can you write me a bio?
Please.
My bio is bad. I don't even know what to do with it.
What is it right now?
Let me think. Let me try to think. What is it now? Yeah.
Right now, it's like Christian. I make funny videos, and under that, I think it says I'm probably eating at Chick-fil-A right now.
It's super self-aware, basically.
Well, give yourself time to come up with something that's as genius as what I have. You know,
His is brilliant.
What did you do? Do you like lock yourself away and like days of prayer?
Yeah, I had a ghostwriter come in and everything. And we had like, we had a whole session for what to put in my Instagram.
Some people bring in a ghostwriter to write like a screenplay.
Yeah, well, but it's good though. It communicates a point. Slim boy with the holy joy.
It's like literally everything.
It says he's funny, he's original, but like with the holy, like he's Christian, he's faith based. He believes in that. So I would wanted to ask you, like, your faith background. How much does that affect your content and like your career?
Like, I'll share something that's a little more, I guess, can come off as arrogant, but people are gonna think what they want. I know what the deal is. So I said that I wanted to go into entertainment since I was like 12 or 13, but like before that, what I had said was like since then I've been praying to God, asking Him for fame, not for my own sake, but so that I could reach as many people as possible.
Yeah,
and just be a light, and show the world what it means to walk with God and just be an example of what a loving Christian looks like, who doesn't compromise in truth either. What it really means, what it really looks like to follow Christ. So with that, I've like just sought to never compromise with anything I make, whether I'm explicitly sharing the gospel or just making people laugh. Like, joy is a fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's this evangelical mindset that we have in America where if you're not saying Jesus' name, that it's not of Him and it's not kingdom. Like, Paul made tents, bro. He didn't stitch like the Lord is resurrected into the tents. Like, he wasn't
putting John 3:16 into all the fabric, like on the pillows that goes in the tent. I don't think it was like that.
Like, letting your life. I really believe that the more we just more time we just spend with God, or just even just being aware that He's with us as it is already, just being filled by Him, like abiding in Him, just knowing that, all right, my whole life is secure in Him. I can't make myself more Christian or holier or more righteous in God's eyes because it's not on me in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
The more I understand that and just allow Him to fill me up, then what I do reflects that. My desires reflect that. My heart reflects that. My thoughts reflect that. And just the videos, the laughter that I'm able to bring to people just flows from that purity. So I'm not here saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm just saying like that's where my mindset is when it comes to making content.
Right.
That I know that it'll be something that glorifies him, because I'm doing and moving forward with what he's placed already inside of me. So, but like practically, I always just try to make content and think like when I'm making stuff, I'm trying to think, okay, could somebody be watching this with their little toddler brothers or sisters or cousins, whatever, as well as their grandparents in the room? All right,
yeah.
Cool. This is pretty much it. And then also starting with the foundation, like, do I really think this is funny or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
If it doesn't match that, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. But, yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like God calls us to do stuff. Like when I was growing up, like I always was doing funny stuff at church, like period. Like I was in church, like we did funny sketches and videos. When we did the plays, I was like always first in line for the speaking roles. I was like one of the few kids with no stage fright.
Look, Taylor, you're 12. You can't be Jesus yet, okay?
I would have been if they would have let me. So I did that kind of thing. So a lot of like where I came out of that, but I originally wanted to be a preacher, a pastor. I still probably might end up a pastor, Chaz. Let's be honest, both of us are probably going to end up pastors one day. You know what? Let's just skip to the end. You want to start a church right now? We can just go start a church. You'll be senior pastor. I'll be associate. Kirby Minute can be the women's pastor. It can work.
Pastors be taking like... Shout out to Curb, yo.
It can work.
Yo, I think pastors really be taking the most heat though, man.
They really do.
Yeah,
my roommate just hit me up. My friend just hit me up. I was like, yo, what do you want from Chick-fil-A?
Oh my God. God's doing a miracle on this show.
Thing.
He hasn't eaten it in 14 months, but God said, in this season, I'm going to make it happen. Amen. So it happened.
Oh my
Look
gosh.
at God. Look at what he has done.
Don't tell me we don't serve a
Don't
miracle
tell him
working
that this show doesn't have a purpose. Don't tell me that. But what I was saying, Chaz, before my point got totally derailed, is that like
by a miracle,
by an actual miracle that just happened. But I originally wanted to be like a pastor or a preacher, which I still think in a form I am. But people get really boxed in. People get really boxed in.
Yeah.
They think that if they're going to be like unique and individual in themselves, and they're going to build the kingdom of God, all of a sudden they got to be like a youth pastor, or they've got to go and they've got to fit the stereotypical boxes of what that looks like.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of people called like me or you, Chaz, or like, other people where it's like, hey, maybe your job is just to spread the joy of God all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just to go to people and be a light and bless them. Pray for them when you have the chance. Be a positive influence, and and when Jesus opens a door to share with somebody, you share with them.
Yeah.
Share them about Jesus.
People don't consider like one example. Stephen Curry. He's a great. He's just excellent at what he does, and God is glorified through that. And then he also shares and is open about when people ask him like, "Yo, what are you like? Why are you so motivated? Or where's your heart? Like, what's most important to you?" Like, he'll straight up say Jesus. Like, and then there are people you don't need to have, but you also don't need to have like ridiculously a ridiculous amount of influence to glorify God or just be obedient to what he's doing. Like, people skip over the parts in the Bible scripture that we read where I think it was when Jesus, Joseph, and Mary showed up at that first feast or holiday. I can't remember exactly
was it his first miracle? Are you talking about the wedding where he turned water into wine?
Before that, when he was like 12.
Was there a VeggieTales episode of this?
There was no VeggieTales episode.
No, but
you're talking about when he went to the temple.
Yeah, there was a point, I don't remember exactly where, somewhere in there when he was young, but there was a woman who had just like said she would always be in the temple praying and fasting.
Oh,
and then she prophesied over Mary at one point, right?
Right.
I can't remember the exact, but I'm just saying there's like these, when we die and see all of our brothers and sisters in Christ throughout all these years, we'll be shocked at how much, I guess, God points out. Like, we'll be shocked at what we find out to see that God is really pleased with.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about popularity or fame. It's like, are you being obedient and just loving him and loving people day to day.
Exactly.
That's far more important than, is your heart really for God, and are you loving people? That's the most important thing. How that looks like practically and what we do can vary so much. And I think God even gives us freedom in that sense. But the core is, are you loving God and loving people?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus pretty much says that exact thing several times. He did the parable of the laborers. You remember when he said, and there were the ones that started at 8 a.m., the one that started at 12 p.m., the ones that started later in the day, and they all got paid the same.
Yeah.
And the ones that worked the hardest and did the most got upset about it.
Yeah.
It's a heart thing, you know. It's not about that. And Jesus said the first will be last, the last will be first.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about reaching, 10 million people.
Yeah.
It's about reaching that one person.
Yeah, I would add on to that because, like, I think God will reward you not based on how much you did, but did you do the thing that he called you to do?
Exactly.
Because I think a stay-at-home mom, that God's entire purpose was for her to prepare her children, and those children go on to be preachers or just business owners that
my
influence.
Mom. That is literally my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she will be rewarded just as greatly as Billy Graham, who reached the millions, because she did exactly what God called her to do.
Yeah.
It's obedience, man. It's obedience.
Yeah.
Simple obedience. It's probably the most difficult thing.
So your mom played a big role in your upbringing?
Yeah, she was. And it's ironic that the first thing I said I wanted to do was be a talk show host, because her first real job out of college was being the first talk show host of BET's first live talk show.
Oh, wow.
Back in the early 90s. She co-produced it too. She did that for about 3 or 4 years. And then did other things on TV, news. But when she had me and my brother, she felt like God really clearly told her to just focus on really raising us. And she sacrificed having a really successful, prominent career in television and production.
Wow.
To really just focus in on, nurturing me and my brothers. And now it's like coming full circle 30 years later. She and I are working on this podcast, and then hopefully it'll become a TV show or some form of that. And it's amazing.
That's so wholesome. And that, that just shows off the goodness of God. Yeah,
that's how he works, though.
Yeah.
That's how he do it, though. So I'm excited to see that. So your mom's helping produce the podcast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's pretty much the brains behind it.
Really?
I'm pretty much just hosting it, figuring out some other guests to be on it, and then then I guess about allowing her ideas to bounce off and just being more of a pulse for what's going on currently. But
Gotcha.
She's doing the writing, booking, production. So we have a production team to help with that, but. Yeah, she really is. She knows what she's doing.
She's the MVP.
Well, how about that? Mom's the real MVP. Yeah. So there she is. Well, man, let me ask you this. So, how much of this stuff, what we've been talking about on the show right now, are you going to talk about on Simply Put? Is that going to be on the podcast?
Let me see. But it'll be more in depth, of course. But,
of course.
Yeah, we're going to mention it for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that's going to be what the first episode is about. It'll be about purpose, but I don't want to share too much about it.
You don't want to say too much.
Yeah.
Feel me?
You got to tune in.
Just a little seasoning.
A little seasoning. He went back to it. He did the Vine thing. It's in his genes. He can't get rid of it now.
That short form content.
He did it.
All the staple hooks.
It's all there. Well, Simply Put Show. If that is out at the time of this podcast, I will put the link in the description of this. I will put it out at least when it comes out. So y'all go check that out. This has been Chaz Smith. He's doing a hand emoji. Oh, he's doing the hand up praise. I know.
The emoji, that thing.
Yeah, the shot hand sign. She bought a Honda, shoulda bought a Kia. Amen. Shoulda bought a. Right there. He's doing that emoji. Well, it has been an absolute honor.
Yeah, I guess we'll do another call later to figure out this church plant.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll get
work out the details.
We'll work it out. It'll work out. No worry.
I'm thinking Montana.
Montana? You think Montana? You want to plan in Montana?
There's a lot of unreached people out there.
There is a lot of unreached people.
As in, there's no
Montana.
people, but
it's got to be close to a Chick-fil-A.
You're right.
Honestly, here's what we should do. We should just start a church that meets in Chick-fil-A on Sunday when it's closed.
And then communion would be lit.
That. I'm okay with that as long as we do the Wednesday Bible study at Trader Joe's.
I've never been in a Trader Joe's. But
Compromise? He's the senior pastor.
He's the senior pastor, so we'll follow his lead, and we will go to Trader Joe's. Oh, great. Now I'm at... You haven't eaten at Chick-fil-A in 14 years, okay? You don't even have place to give me flack. I don't live in Kentucky. We don't have Trader Joe's. We've got, we're happy to have Walmart and Kmart out here in Kentucky. Well... This has been Chaz Smith, everybody. Thank you all very much. Links in description.
It's been real.
Well, guys, that was Chaz Smith. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Frick Frack Podcast. Before you go, don't forget to leave a 5-star review so that more people can see the show and hear from us, as well as subscribe or follow for more episodes in the future. At this time, I'm not sure if Chaz Smith's podcast is out when we're recording, but if it is, I will put it in the description. There will be a link there to simply put. You can check it out. And if you guys want to support this show, there's a few different ways you can do that. You can get merch on www.taylorransom.net.
Why do you say the W's?
I don't know.
W's literally haven't been necessary in internet history for the longest time.
I know. I just say them because I don't know. You can do that, or you can go to patreon.com/TaylorRansom and you can get some exclusive behind-the-scenes content from I messed up again, from some of our latest shoots of the homeschool video, Edgy Youth Group Kids, all that good stuff. It's up there on the Patreon, so you guys can check that out. And thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show. Thank you, guys.
I thought I'd just say it real abruptly, this is the end.
This is the end of the show. Do you hear me, Johnathan? This is the end of the show.
This is the end. Leave. Go on to the next episode.